One of my favourite things to do is get a new vehicle and test it on the way home. Today we're picking up my new Bonneville, so come with me and we'll go and get it. So we're on the train. This is Ivy Bridge and I'm heading down to St Austell to get my new bike, the Bonneville 865. It's a special day. I'm really looking forward to going and getting it. I know I'm going to love it because I actually have to say this is not my first one. In the last few months, year, I've actually had 3 bikes. I had a Bonneville 865, very similar to the one I'm going to get. Thought I'd upgrade to my dream bike of the Scrambler 1200, which was absolutely fantastic, but just didn't click with me. And actually now I look back, lots of the reviews say it's a great bike, but no one loves it. Look at the rain. It's a pretty depressing thing to see on your way down to go and get a new bike. And then obviously I went to a Royal Enfield Classic 350 to try and find a smaller, fun, nimble bike, and didn't want to get the same again. Unfortunately, I was wrong. I definitely eat my words, and I'm going to go and get a new Bonneville. And here she is. Really well looked after, owned for the last 7 years by Jason, a great guy. He picked me up from the station, which is really nice of him. And you could just tell the bike was well looked after. A few little bits of age here and there, but I like that because I would like to use a bike and not just have it as a garage or street princess. So I want it to be used, and I'm happy to have a bike that's like that. Straight back on it, felt a little bit alien, but sounded amazing, rode lovely. So let's take a listen now at that. Just needed to sort the final bits of documentation, insurance, and a few other things. So just down the road, stopped at this cafe in Charlestown. Gonna have a coffee, admire the bike, look at the view, let the road dry up, the sun come out, and get on the phone to book my insurance and have a little bit of brunch. Thank you very much indeed.
Would you like any sugar?
Hi there, I'm looking to change the vehicle for today on my policy, if that's okay. That's a good feeling. Thankfully, Principal Insurance managed to sort it out on the same day, and I still have my policy left over from my last Bonneville, as they wouldn't cancel it. So, time to get going. Let's get out on the road, in the sun. Look at this, just looks beautiful. Little Landy there, that's fantastic. Nice to see a few of them around. Quite a lot on the road I found in Cornwall. There's another one.
Lots of Land Rovers. So at the moment it's feeling really good. It's great to be back on one. I'm sure I've already discussed in the film what the plan was. There was no plan really, just lots of mistakes in terms of choice of bikes. And now we're back to where we started, and it feels good, I have to say. Currently leaving St Austell and heading home now. It rained on the way down in the train, and it's definitely not raining now, which is good.
Wow, going from the classic 350, which is a great bike, and I would recommend it to people that didn't want to do longer distance or maybe really light riders. For me, this just has the perfect power of 66 horsepower. I've heard it from others. This is just the right amount for not being too much, good for beginners, good for, experienced riders, can handle the motorways and dual carriageways, can do it all, looks good, and I really do think it is an all-round fantastic bike. It's time to go in and get some fuel. I'm not sure how long this has been sitting in the garage, so petrol can get a bit old, so I thought I'd top it up. Seemed to be about half a tank, put some premium in there, and it did seem to run a little bit nicer after I filled it up. Let's get back on the road. road from Trawlfoot to the Tor Point ferry is a beautiful one. All dry now. Loads and loads of lovely bends, but I have to say there's lots of signs saying there's lots of bike crashes. For me, I like to be sensible, have fun, but it is sad that people have lost their lives on this one. Thought I'd stop up here by the river there, get a few shots, as it's just a perfect picturesque location, even for a thumbnail as well. I knew it'd be fine, didn't test ride it, and you don't really get to see a proper look when you're going to buy a bike, so I thought I'd have a proper inspection and see what it's like. Asked a little bit of help from this lovely couple, used to be avid bikers. He took the thumbnail for me, so lots of thanks. I hope they're watching because I did give them my channel. And then it was time to head off back on the road and to the ferry. The joy inside me right now as I'm getting back used to the bike after coming off and getting back on it, it really doesn't feel at all alien. It feels like I'm back on my home bike, feeling really happy, and it sounds absolutely fantastic. As you let off the throttle, when it overruns, you get lots of pops and bangs, and some people don't like it. I definitely do. So this is just the queue now. Heading home. Unfortunately, I've got work tonight, so I have to travel up to London in the car, filming tomorrow, but I'll be back for the weekend. Thank God the weather has held up this long. It's absolutely brilliant. It was raining on the way over, as I said, and got on the bike, it was wet. Didn't put the waterproof trousers on, just in hope, and stopped for a coffee, and the sun came out. It's all dry now, and I've had a brilliant ride ride home. So heading to Plymouth now, might head to maybe a cafe or maybe a bike shop, get some muck off. Still got a hose ban at home, which is annoying, which is bad for washing any cars or any bikes. But yeah, it's just been a brilliant journey home. It's so good to be back on the Bonnie. I actually 100% admit I made a mistake getting rid of it in the first place, getting a Scrambler 1200. Not the worst bike, the Scrambler 1200, it's a great bike, just wasn't for me. Classic 350. Just didn't have enough poke, that last final 20% if you're doing long distance like this, but this one just 70 miles an hour on the motorway, still pulling, 5th gear, absolutely brilliant, loving it so far. What a day. What a day. So yeah, let's carry on. Time for the ferry into Plymouth and then home. Over there. Thank you. Was joined by a nice guy with a speed triple here, as you can see. He had a collection of 7 bikes and was heading into Plymouth for the day. We recently did this little ferry crossing in a video, camping, and you can check that out on my channel in Boris. Another Land Rover coming up now, and check this out, it's a Maker Defender, but it has an Island Rover sticker. Cool to see that in Plymouth, really nice. Now heading into the Royal William Yard. This is a great little area by me, and I found this little corner here by the water where I can take a little look around and show you a bit about the bike and a few plans I've got coming up. Right then, here we are at Royal William Yard. Found quite a nice backdrop. I was trying to decide where to do this little walk around, and it seems like a great place. The only thing is it is a little bit windy, so do bear that in mind if you hear any wind. Sorry about that. Very honest bike, lovely to drive. Probably been riding for about an hour and a bit, I'd say. Just forgot how lovely and smooth it is up to the speed of the sort of motorway and the A38. Highway speeds is really nice. I would say that this is very similar to my last one. It looks exactly the same. This is the lower version. That one was the SE, but there's really not that much difference. The speedo's different. This one had a dual clock, so it was a little bit nicer in that respect, but thinking about changing that anyway to a sort of aftermarket one. What I did with this was, what I did with my one was remove the indicators, put smaller things on, put a smaller tail tidy. This one already has the tool exhaust, which mine had already. They sound absolutely brilliant. Hopefully you've been able to hear that on the way over. I just noticed this carbon fibre extra bit on the mudguard there. Not a fan of carbon fibre that much, but definitely does the trick. Looks fine, and will keep it clean. Nice tyres on it, got Metzler's. I think that's a new one on the front. Looks like sort of an interesting pattern there. Just basically original clean bike. Bits of corrosion here and there, but I'm happy to, you know, sort those out as we go along. Maybe replace some bits and pieces here and there. When I do an oil change, oil service, maybe I'll take some of those oil return pipes off, give them a sand down, paint, and just get some cleaner in here. Also, just get some of this corrosion away. It's not bad, and to be honest, I'd much rather have a bike that's of that condition, so not too precious about it. Happy to ride it in the rain as long as you keep it clean. This one's got a centre stand. That's really handy. Didn't realise that until I saw it. My last one didn't, and my 2 other bikes did, and it's something that I missed with this one. Much easier for oil changes, servicing, lubing the chain, all that sort of stuff. Really handy to have that, but just generally really nice bike. Really want to say thanks to Jason for having me over, picking me up from the station, being just a genuine, honest guy, doing me a good price on it, and also looking after it for the last 7 years. I have to say I'm a bit sad for him to, you know, maybe if he was a bit sad to see it go. But he had another couple of bikes, and, you know, he's moving on. And to be honest, the prices are so good on these that he could probably buy another one if he wants to with the money that I bought it for. So yeah, just wanted to give a little walk around, see what it's like at the moment. Sort of been going over my head what I want to do to it. Probably not much at all. Last one I changed the handlebars as well. Not sure about that on this one. I think I'll just leave these unless I get the T100 ones. And maybe change the indicators. But to be honest, actually riding it, sort of quite liking this sort of retro look, and, you know, keeping things as original is the cheapest option, and also is, you know, a good viable option. Probably would put a bash plate on. Black one would be nice. Just give it a clean up, and, you know, take any of the bigger chrome bits off, and, you know, I think I'd like to put a metal press plate on, the slightly smaller ones. I had that on all my other bikes, and I think it really looks nice. And then when you have a smaller one of those, these do start to look a bit big, so I'm sure I'll be changing that in the future anyway. Back on the road again then, the final stretch home. Was going to go and do a couple of bits and pieces, but as I said earlier, I need to get home, get ready, and head off for work up to London. Sadly, not going to take the bike. And with that, the ride is over. What a great day. Getting a new bike and testing it on the way home. Absolutely performed brilliantly and couldn't have been better. I absolutely love the Bonneville. Wish I never sold my first one. But it's time to get this one that's been looked after into my garage, and it's going to sit here for a few days until I'm back, and then we can start looking after it, and then maybe planning a few tasteful upgrades here and there. I hope you have enjoyed this. This is a Land Rover based channel, but I do want to spread it out into my interests, as I feel like there is a good bit of content to be seen with biking, other bits of camping, outdoors, and maybe even some camera bits and pieces. Let me know if you are interested in this and like bikes. It'd be great to hear from my followers and subscribers, as it's quite a niche. I did a New Zealand tour video recently, and because it didn't involve Defender, it didn't do very well, but I enjoyed making this, and I hope you have. If you know anyone that likes bikes or is looking at a Bonneville, please share this with them, and it'd be great to have some bikers on the channel as well. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon.